Perspective of the being is perspective of eternity. And that is God's perspective. Perspective comes only after the knower. And the knower has nothing to say about anything. Do not have anything to think about. Is the suffering for the mind. But for the knower, the mind's desire to constantly think about something is also seen. For the knower, Baba is the greatest entertainment, and his company is his constant guidance. His world is in Baba. It starts there and it ends there, which means there's no beginning and ending. So is Baba's company your greatest entertainment? Is his perspective your constant guidance? In every moment? If that's true, then you being you is absolute joy for you. Knowing all the beings as bundles of joy is natural for the being that I am. Because Baba knows the incorporeal actors. And each one is just a silent presence. Incorporeal actors are also incorporeal observers. Absolutely silent. For each and every silent witness, Baba is the world, whether they know it or not know it. They may be acting as though the dream world is their world, but that's just an act. They may seem as though, and they appear to be lost in the world of dreams of their thoughts. But that's just an appearance. Appearance is not the truth. Truth is beyond appearance. All the beings are absolutely fixated on Baba. Basking in his drishti, mesmerized by him. Every being, starting with the self. Knowing full well nothing can ever go wrong. Everything is in divine order. with this attitude, silent beings come into sound. Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Shanti. Wanted to go to the Murli that we had not finished because it was very important. It was the 3rd February 1972 Murli. 3rd February 1972. So I'll just read the beginning again and then we'll go to the second passage and third. Baba had said, "It is said of the Father that those who know him as he is and what he is can attain all attainments. In the same way, do you know yourself as you are and what you are? Do you know and accept yourself in this way and conduct yourself accordingly throughout the whole day? Just as it is necessary to know the Father in all his forms and in all relationships, it is also necessary to know the Self in the same way through the Father. To know means to accept. What will your stage be if you continue to move along, accepting yourself as you are? You will be bodiless whilst in the body. Avyakt whilst in the Vyakt form. An angel whilst walking and moving around. And karmatit whilst performing karma. So when you very clearly know and accept yourself, then such souls can never fluctuate in following the disciplines. To know the disciplines means to follow the disciplines. The disciplines automatically remain with those who accept and follow all the disciplines. They do not have to think whether something is a discipline or not. For those who stabilize themselves in the stage of the self, whatever actions they perform, whatever words they speak, and whatever thoughts they think becomes a discipline. We will go a little bit in detail, a little bit more I want to read before that. You saw that whatever the Sakar form performed, while remaining in self-awareness, they became the disciplines for the Brahmin family. Listen to this. While remaining in self-awareness, they became the disciplines for the Brahmin family. How were those disciplines created? Whatever happened through Brahma Baba became the disciplines for the Brahmin family. By staying in the awareness of the self, all actions become a discipline. When you heard the word discipline, what did you think? Just bhog lagana, subah amrit vela uthna, just that? What is discipline? What is Baba's definition? वो तो अपने आप होता है. That will happen. But what Baba is saying is, by staying in the awareness of the self, all actions, action starts at the smriti level, right? Then thoughts, words, actions, everything after that. All actions become a discipline. His personality is my personality. His way of seeing is my way of seeing. Bap Dada both. Yeah? And recognition of the time constantly remains very clear in front of them. Senior officers know the whole plan and they keep it in front of them while conducting their activities. In the same way, pilots and ships, captains, have their own plans through which they can know the path clearly. Similarly, those who know themselves automatically follow the disciplines and recognize the time very clearly. Throughout the day, they are aware of what they are as they are. There's really something which I really want to get to before we go into discussion, otherwise it will stop, okay? It is remembered, whatever actions I perform, others who see me will do the same. So, whatever actions are performed by those who know themselves, those actions will become disciplines. These are very subtle actions Baba is talking about, right? Baba is not talking about that. Gross actions are just the reflection of that subtle awareness that you are. Yeah? Everyone who sees them will follow them. You should have such a stage constantly. In the first stage, you have to make effort, means purusharth, the word effort is not right. You have to think at every step whether something is right or wrong. But when you stay constantly in the awareness of the self, then it is natural. Then it is natural. And there is no need to think about it. As you could never perform any action without the disciplines. The word discipline is heard very differently by each one here, I can guarantee. Listen to this. In the Sakar form, because of being in the intoxication of the self, he could say with authority that even if he performed a wrong action, that would also be put right. He had that authority. How did he have such authority? With the intoxication of the self. By staying in the awareness of the form of the self. You have the intoxication that none of your actions can be wrong. Please see the subtlety of this, huh? Everyone should have such intoxication, number-wise. Can those who followed the Father not create this stage? You will follow this one, will you not? He is the first soul in the Sakar form. Whatever was demonstrated by the first soul as an instrument, the second and third souls can follow him number-wise in all aspects. The question of the incorporeal form is a different matter. Whatever Baba demonstrated as an instrument in the corporeal form can be followed by everyone number-wise according to the effort. This is known as having full nischay in the intellect for the self, of the self. Just as your intellect has 100% nischay in the Father, together with that nischay in the Father, you also need to have that much nischay in the self. How much intoxication do you have for the stage of the self? Just as Baba became an instrument in the Sakar form and demonstrated every action as a discipline, so you children also follow the Father in the same way in a practical form. Do you have such a stage? So what do you understand? I'll give you a hint.
Be Om. That is the Baba give the just have the self-awareness. Be in your self-respect, and whatever the action be performed in that stages become discipline. That's the Baba says, even though wrong action not be seen as a wrong. Because it's performed in your awareness. That's the Baba gave the example of the Brahma Baba. He was in his stage, complete intoxication, and that had become discipline. And that is for the example for the rest of the Brahman's family, rest of the whole souls. But this is the Baba's emphasize in what stage you are in, aware. Do you have this extent of the intoxication? And this is the cause of the number wise. Create the numbers.
Yeah. Yes. And anyone else?
Complete knowing about self and not being biased about it, have a complete acceptance of ourselves and being in that stage of that self-awareness of who am I. And that and coming from that place in actions also. Like Baba said, being bodiless while being in body. And Avyakt while in the Vyakt form.
What is the difference between the bodiless in the body and avyakt in vyakt the body? So what is the difference between avyakt and bodiless? It's the same thing, right?
Incorporeal, bodiless is incorporeal, and avyakt is angelic. Yeah.
But bodiless is incorporeal. Bodiless is means you are in the body, means you detach from the mind. That is the bodiless stage, means you're not influenced of the thoughts, any thought, Maya thoughts.
Bodiless, just incorporeal, just means there is nothing to think about. It's just Om. Remember, we've been saying
That is
that
the
Om.
incorporeal stage, but it's not the bodiless stage.
Bodiless and incorporeal is the same. Yeah. Nirakari, Nirvikari,
Nirankari.
Yeah. Nirakari is incorporeal, bodiless stage. Yeah.
So can you
Because
repeat
what I
please?
understood initially, we had a discussion this one, I think so it was said, is bodiless, it doesn't mean the soul left the body, but it means is the soul complete detached from the mind.
Even incorporeal doesn't mean soul has left the body.
Yeah, and then it means it's detached from the mind's game.
That is avyakt. Yeah. Soul is in the incorporeal stage, there are no thoughts. It's thoughtless. Right? In the home, do you have any thoughts? Do you need any thoughts? Baba said no in Sunday Murli. Anadi Swarup means no thoughts. Baba even said, do you have thoughts in your Anadi Swarup? In your eternal form, do you have any thoughts?
Well, there is no story attached to it, so there is no thought. But here is a story attached to it.
That's why in avyakta form, basically there are thoughts, but you're absolutely separate from it, detached from it, right? So that's why the angelic stage, in which we take Baba's thought and we make that as our thought. That's why I kind of brought this image also, so that we can get a little bit more understanding that Om that we said was light, which means the nature of light, the absolute knowing, which is the bodiless truth of the soul, the unbiased self that I am, right? Here I have zero costume of any thought, any feeling, any memory, any emotion, completely bodiless, incorporeal I am, right? There is nothing about, it's just me and Baba, and there's everything else after that is just imagination for me. This is very clear for me, the being, right? Baba is wanting me to know this truth about myself. Baba is wanting me to know that this truth about every being of light is the same truth. Here, there is no difference between you or me. Yeah? You and me are exactly the same. There is no difference whatsoever. Because there is no story there. Yeah? And Baba is saying this is just silence that you are. Knowing yourself first as that silence, now each one has in their mind different set of sanskars. Sato Pradhan, Rajo, Rajo Pradhan, Tamo Pradhan sanskars within each one. But then some souls have Brahmin sanskars also. Yeah. Some souls have Brahmin sanskars. Those souls will recognize God as God is. Brahmin sanskars are none of them. None of these sanskars are Brahmin sanskars. What are Brahmin sanskars?
It's just to recognize the Baba. And
Baba, and
the first is, and today, just we read it here, have the self-awareness, know the own truth and Baba's truth.
Brahmin soul knows its eternal truth along with the sanskara of
Yes, as a
being
soul.
attached with Sati plus Sakshi.
Sakshi, yes.
That's a Brahmin, angelic sanskar.
The Brahmin only knows the both things, both parallel world.
Yeah. So only as a Brahmin, that sanskara is only in this few souls, Brahmin sanskara. Yeah. In that, the soul is completely detached with the companion. And those souls have the sanskara of recognizing God whilst in the body, being bodiless whilst in the body, being avyakt whilst in the vyakt. Those souls have it. Yeah?
Which is the same stage of detachment.
Yeah.
Observer here.
So what would be a satopradhan sanskara thought? A thought that will come from this sanskar, what would it be? Soul has no thoughts. But inside of the soul, there are these different sanskaras. What is a thought that will come? Let's just take one example. Satopradhan sanskara is I am peace, is a thought. Rajo, that is silver aged sanskara, is I think I am peace. Rajo Pradhan sanskar from copper age, I am seeking peace. Tamo Pradhan sanskar, I am peaceless. Yeah. These are the different thoughts based on different types of sanskaras within the soul, in its mind. Brahmin sanskara is observer of all these different types of thoughts.
And being in its bliss and not identifying with it.
Yeah, knowing myself as this silent being and knowing everything is coming after me. Sato, Rajo, Tamo, whatever it is, all coming after me. I am silence. But whatever I shine light on, if I shine light on this thought of I am peace, then I become the embodiment of that. If I, the being, shine light on I think I am peace, then I become embodiment of that. If I, the being, shine light on I'm seeking peace, I want peace, I'm looking for peace, then I become embodiment of that because I'm just silent. Whatever I shine light on, I become embodiment of that. I, the being, shine light on I am peaceless, I become that. So I need to know me as that light first. Then I will not shine light on any of this, but I will know my truth as Baba knows, and I will shine light on my angelic sanskar. And in my angelic sanskar, all these can be seen as a detached observer. And as that angelic sanskara, automatically, without much thinking, like Baba said, no, there will be no need to think about it. I will automatically use the Sattva Pradhan Sanskaras as my nature. And I will wear this costume.
If I may ask a question,
Yeah.
when we say Sato, Sato Pradhan, Rajo, Rajo Pradhan, Tamo, Tamo Pradhan, so what's the difference between these two terms?
Sato is like Sato and Sato Pradhan, like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Supremely pure, then little less pure is Sato. Rajo is come down from Sato and Sato Pradhan, it's a little bit more active and more, excitement and all those kind of sanskars are there in this. A little bit of courage is also needed, those sanskars. Rajo Pradhan is supremely Rajo Pradhan, higher degree of Rajo. Tamo is more darkness and dullness. And Tamo Pradhan is supremely Tamo Pradhan, highest degree of Tamo.
I wasn't sure about what is the difference between the absolute and the pradhan. So pradhan is stronger
Absolute
than,
is beyond all of this. Absolute has got
yeah,
nothing to do with any of this.
yeah, absolute as in just sato and sato pradhan. So I think
No,
pradhan is stronger
no,
than only sato.
absolute is beyond any of this.
Yeah.
Absolute has got nothing to do with any of these types of sanskars. Absolute is just constant. Even Satopradhan sanskaras are sanskaras, they are changing,
Mm-hmm.
right? But soul is forever beyond all of this. Means soul is beyond all different types of sanskars. Just pure Om, pure silence. That's who I am. And then whatever I give my power of belief, my light to, I take the shape of it. I become embodiment of it. For that moment. Nothing about me is still changing. I'm becoming embodiment of all of these, but nothing about my absolute truth is ever changing. This I only come to know as a Brahmin, in my Brahmin part. Not every soul will come to know that till the end. I mean, we are living that in this time, right? That I know that I Sakshi with Baba and I can see all of these different. That's why we gave a thought. I am peace is a Sato Pradhan thought. Rajo thought is I think I am peace. And here Rajo Pradhan thought is I'm looking for peace. I'm a seeker of peace. And Tamo Pradhan is I am peaceless.
Gidi. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah. So
Baba.
all of this is within me. I come to know this now at this time with Baba. So I'm none of this, but it's all within me. That's playing the part, right? That's what when I become this thought that I am peace, then that's the costume, that's the part I play. That's the actor Baba said today, no? In the Murli, that consider yourselves to be the actors. Just as an actor takes off his costume as soon as his part is over. In the same way, you, my child, has to practice this. As soon as you finish performing your act, take off your costume of your body and be bodiless. Now, it's not just the body, the physical body, but it is also subtle body.
But here it's this Baba in this Murli is Baba's means whatever you once you are using this body to perform the actions or do whatever things in your daily chores. But once your karma is done, you become detached because you complete detached from your karma. There's not seeking for any outcomes or any expectation or anything.
That is very gross. Baba is saying be karmatit whilst performing karma, not after karma is done. See?
No, in
Karma
the for the bodiless, the
whilst
Baba
performing.
reference to today, just like Baba give the reference, just like give the example of the actors when they perform the acting. I mean, they
They don't
come.
forget that they are actors. They don't forget who they
Yeah.
are when they're performing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's not like after the act is performed, I remember who I am. Whilst performing the action, they know who they are. True? Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter how intense the part may be. Does Amitabh Bachchan ever forget he's Amitabh Bachchan? So how intense my parts may be, That's what Baba said, that in your part, it may even look like it's a mistake, but when you're really sure who you are, then that mistake is not a mistake. You will not see it as a wrong action. Because you're so aware that I am this silent being. And you are in that awareness performing certain actions that are being performed according to the part that you need to play. But my silence can never be disturbed of who I am. My mind can create many different types of emotions and feelings. But because I'm so detached from everything, because I know I am, and everything after that is just simply an imagination, it's just simply a dream. Then no matter what act is performed, there is no me in it. There's no I in it. So if the action that is performed may look like a very wrong action, but because I'm very clear about who I am, that vibration of there is no me, mine, and I in that action, you actually know it was supposed to be part of the play. Does that make sense? It's not done out of carelessness. It's not done out of carelessness.
This is so that being in that awareness when those acts are done without the me, my, I in it, then that's also discipline.
That's the discipline, actually. That's the discipline. And these are very subtle disciplines. Then it is like when we are, let's say with Brahma Baba. He's performing many, many actions. And it's not like he's never made a mistake. I mean, even in the Murli, we can sometimes hear that he's saying, I like some children more than the other who do more service than the others. Now, it's not exactly a very divine thing to say. Yeah. But it is said. But he's saying this is a Purusharthi Brahma. That's nothing to do with me. I'm that karmatit. Where is my sense of who I am? My sense of who I am is with my karmatit presence that I am. So he's not identifying, but as you see, the Murlis are getting closer to his perfect state. These things are not spoken as much at all. In fact, songs also disappear from the Murlis as it comes closer to his perfect state. So, but his sense of self is in his karmatit stage, even whilst these things may happen at once in a while at times, But in his in Bap Dada's Avyakt Murli, he's not saying, I love those children more than those who do more service. You don't hear this in Avyakt Murlis.
Just I remember in one of the Murli, Baba did mention something similar. Even if something goes wrong, it was indication that Baba will fix it.
Yeah.
It happened for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. You begin to understand that whatever happened in the drama, even if my act was performed, however it was performed, after paying all the attention and care, if some act was performed, it was supposed to be that way in the drama. That much nishchay you will have.
And that's why Baba said, accept.
Yeah.
This is
Well said.
has the conviction on the drama and
Because we,
accept as it,
yeah,
as you are. You just don't question it. Why this happened, how this happened.
yeah,
Because automatically you just like stop.
yeah. Because Shiv Baba will not say, I love those children more than those children who we can give it a name of as a teacher, he's doing this, and as no, that's not true.
Baba
Shiv Baba,
always divinized.
Baba will say,
He just talk about the Gujarat comes, this comes, and how he put it in a divinized way.
yeah.
All the groups and wings, he just not he go by individual, but he just
Baba is not
give
saying
the
Gujarat has come. It's someone else who's saying in the group, this is a group of Gujaratis standing. Then Baba
yeah,
gives a play of words on it.
exactly, and beautifully he explained it. He just like
That's the fact, you know. So we begin to see that more you are really aware of who you are, then that vibration of your knowing of who you are, you, that being, that is silent being, a being that is really just that empty bowl from within which all these different sanskaras and the thoughts based on these different sanskaras are constantly emerging. But you are so living as that being that is silent, that is very aware that this is just the dream state created by these different types of thoughts and different types of sanskaras. I'm very aware, but let's say, whilst being fully aware, some action comes into play where some tears drop down roll down the eyes, right? Like when the soul behind Mama had left, it wasn't exactly very easy for Brahma Baba. Yeah, given the role that soul played in the yagya, right? Right hand of Baba. But if you remember, what's her name? Didi, kya naam tha? Kailash. When she said, came down after seeing Karmati stage of Brahma Baba, and came and saw Purusharthi Brahma. And then she actually, in Madhuban, when she gave the class, she actually said that, बोले वो तो बहुत अच्छा, आप बहुत गंदे हो, वो बहुत अच्छा है. उन्होंने क्लास में इतना नहीं बोला खुल के. But in Madhuban, when she had given the class, she said that. And then others told her, don't speak like that about Baba. Do you see how they suppress that? Those ones around them. It is not we are putting him on a pedestal. We really need to know that. That despite that, the soul behind Brahma Baba never, and Brahma Baba said, no, ye bahut innocently bol rahi hai. She's speaking very innocently and very honestly. Let her speak. So we will not hear these stories from anybody outside. We just need to see that in Murlis. And we are not kind of picking it. No, we are understanding that it wasn't that Brahma Baba was perfect in his actions every moment. No, but that's what we hear. So we think it's wrong to have any kind of other little blip here and a little blip there. Yeah. That is very confusing for effort for a Purusharthi, you know. Sometimes one wishes there could be more honesty in storytelling. Like Kailash Ben. But that's okay. That's all part of a perfect play. We know from Murli's, right?
Even though she gave the example of the Dada Kishore, I think so, the right hand Baba, and he passed, he left the body in the Bombay, and Baba says, don't bring the body because soul is the perishable left, the body is
But
perishable,
that is
don't bring
different.
it.
That is different. We are talking about him being Purusharthi.
Yeah, but that is also Prashad, but how Baba was detached, even though
And
that
that
soul was
he
the
is
soul.
perfection. You're seeing his perfection in it. That's his detachment. We are talking about, it's not like Brahma Baba's soul behind Brahma Baba never made a mistake.
Baba himself
That
says
is what
many
we are
soul
saying.
yeah.
So, because, and here I want to read this line again, in the Sakar form, because of being in the intoxication of the self, he could say with authority that even if he performed a wrong action, that would also be put right. He had that authority. How did he have such an authority? With the intoxication of the self, knowing I am that incorporeal actor. I am that silent self. Nothing about me can ever change. Nothing about me can ever change. I am changeless. That intoxication. True?
But it said that none of the actions can be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, not saying that nothing can be changed, but it said that because
No,
it's like
the
accepting
soul
the
is
drama,
changing. The
like
soul is
accepting the
changing.
drama.
First, knowing the soul is changeless. Intoxication of the self is knowing one's changeless truth.
Right.
Action is
Nothing
not
has to.
changing that truth.
Right.
Then,
Action is not having an impact.
yeah, from there it is easy to accept whatever happened, it was drama.
Right. So that's what I was kind of saying, that even the wrong action was also put right, may because of the conviction in drama.
Conviction in the self first. That's what we are saying.
For self and then the drama also.
Yeah. First the self. Only then from there conviction in the drama can be. It cannot be without having conviction in the self. Because once I know I am the invisible actor, I am that incorporeal actor, then any act has got no power to define my truth. And it's a very beautiful thing Baba said in today's Murli, that as soon as you finish your act, take off your costume. Now, act could have been whatever it was. Doesn't matter, pleasant, unpleasant, whatever it was. You take off your costume and be bodiless, which means I let go. So, for example, and this is what will free you from past and future thoughts. Taking the costume off means what? Like I was having a conversation with someone and they said that if we do this, then they will think like this. Menika, you did not take the costume off. You're wearing the past costume in this moment, and now your mind is assuming that they will think like this, so we should not. Menika, they will think like this, or your mind is assuming that they will think like this. No, but my past experience was like that with them. I said that was the past experience. Do you know that the soul is changeless and their experience may have changed in this point in time? They are not exactly experiencing themselves to be the same way this time. Is it possible?
All the web is in the mind, everybody's mind here. And we'd like to hold on to our
Yeah.
past experiences and not giving a
A
chance of other improve or anything to be changing.
Yeah. So I said, let us leave that assumption of the mind behind. We are not going to take that assumption in the next moment. In this moment, how do you see that soul? I don't want to hear what their stories and what past experiences we've had with them. Leave that aside. Just know the soul as you are, with me, the soul as I am, with you, the soul as you are, with Baba, the way he's seeing each one. Now let us talk. So how would your thinking be now from this point on, knowing we are all silent beings? Now, how would you think?
What did they say?
Yeah, thinking was different completely. Completely different thinking.
But there are no thoughts, there's no story, there's nothing,
For the
no
work.
emotion.
The work needs to be done, but it's not based on my past experience with them. So thinking is still happening, but not based on what my mind is thinking and assuming, and based on that, it's planning the next step. Does that make sense? It's very, very clear when Baba is saying, become bodiless, seen, over, finished. Even if something has happened by your part, seen, over, finished, bodiless. Take the costume of that emotion, that feeling, that pleasantness, that unpleasantness, whatever that costume is, take it off. It's not yours. पहले तो पहनते ही क्यों, अगर पहन भी ली तो take it off.
We should be just walking bodiless.
Yeah, that's what Baba is saying. Be bodiless as though you just have not known anybody ever. But our minds are so conditioned, living based on memories and seeing people based on the stories that you're carrying about them in your mind. And we are wearing our mind all the time. Yeah. That is why Baba is saying, no, be bodiless. This is what being bodiless means. Just who you are. Now see, how will you live with everyone around you? You don't know anything about their past. How will you live with them?
Beautiful, sister. Beautiful, beautiful relationship among
Sister,
us.
past, even okay, like even 10 minutes past comes in front. Like first
Yeah.
you say past, and I said, okay, all these years dropped, like even 5 minutes ago, what was said?
And that
That's
5 minutes ago was based on 10 minutes ago, and that 10 minutes ago was based on 10 years ago, and that 10 years ago was based on 50 years ago. Hmm?
this one just entered the house like 6 o'clock, and the brother soul, oh, daughter didn't do this with the car, didn't do that. Oh, tomorrow is going to get towed. Oh, that is going to happen. Then I have to fly. Like within 2 minutes, there was all the story. I said, has that happened? No, this is happening. This is happening. And I said, state now, right now, what has happened? Right now, she's driving the car in Florida. Nothing is told. You and your Brahma Kumari, keep it to yourself. And they're dumb. And I'm like, I just entered the house. All that stuff, all stories in the head projecting future, this, that. And if the oneness person is stable, they don't like they have their own part. Nothing is impacting you. Nothing, you don't care about anything. All this. But the mind, how the mind can build so many stories. And they
Absolutely.
can get carried in the future in
Yeah.
whatever direction the mind wants to take, and
Yeah.
losing the grip of the now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here it said, okay, put on the dinner and started eating food. And he was still saying the same, towing this, that, jail and court. And I'm thinking, delicious food, Baba, you and I eating. He's playing his own part. So it's like, okay. So it's amazing how one can live in their mind. Everybody, like we all can live in our minds and think, project.
So you are in entertainment place.
Oh God, there's a lot of non-stop entertainment here.
So that is where Baba tells us, be with me. Being with him means I don't know anybody's past. I just don't know. I just know each one as Om, each one as a silent presence.
Baba
So
is the
even
best formula. He doesn't
yeah,
bother in the story.
yeah. And it is like, even if they are speaking that, projecting the future and worried about the future and thinking about the past memories and talking to you about it, your eyes on the Om. And you know, within that Om, there is all of this, within each Om, within each silent presence, there is all of this that is just being manifested. That is all. But you, the being, unbiased presence. And you're seeing their unbiased presence also. That is what Baba wants us to know, that take off the body, become bodiless, perform action, take off the costume, see the brother soul. That's it. That's it. And this is an easy way to be who you are, that is to be pure. What is impurity? Nothing else. This is the impurity. For example, let's say I meet Sister Nehal or I meet Sister Neeru from the past interactions I've had with them. Then what is it? Is it purity? Doesn't matter if it's the most pleasant feelings. Is it still purity?
Mhm.
Fond memories. Is it still purity? No. You know, we go to the same center, right? Soul behind Sister Nehal, soul behind Sister Geetan. And this one sits in the back row, yeah? And this one always sees soul behind Sister Nehal taking the bhog and going to the kitchen and in the kitchen, right? So I'm always seeing this soul, there are 2, 3 souls who go to the kitchen, right? And and I always see, is there any difference between this soul for me, this soul, and this soul? Is there a sense of familiarity in my mind that this soul I know because this soul comes in the class? You know? So I'm checking my own self with Baba and I'm seeing what is my feeling, this feeling of the being that I am, and is there a difference in the feeling in my mind? Is there a sense of familiarity there? Little extra love for mind can have. Do you
Sister
see
Neeru,
how
we
mind
will be
can
separated now.
have?
For this one is the similar experience because every time I want to say Om Shanti, and then instead I would just have you and me and all of us together in with Baba. I feel like that.
Exactly. So it's like you're just seeing. You're just seeing. Zero familiarity in my mind. I can see my mind has some familiarity. But I, the soul, am observing that familiarity separate from me. But I'm seeing the beings of light. They're all the same. Without their story, if I remove the mask and if I remove that story behind that mask, they're all the same. All are Oms, all are perfect living lights. And in that, I can say Om Shanti, no problem. But what is my drishti? You know, that feeling. In that, I can still meet and greet everybody. It's not like I'll avoid Geet and I'll avoid Nehal because I don't want to be coming across as familiar. No, not at all. But there is a sense of equality, not equality, sense of knowing each one as Same. Equality भी वो तो ठीक है, बहुत generic word है. Just knowing that there's no difference between this soul and this soul and this soul and this soul. Now I meet and greet. True. But being aware, is my mind carrying some other feeling inside? You know? So that's what Baba is saying. Be bodiless, take off the costumes. And the subtlest costume we wear is the costume of familiarity. Familiarity with their story, familiarity with the old sanskaras within me. These are the costumes. Subtle costumes. So this one, even at home when meeting, it's like soul behind daughter is right now here and soul behind husband. And I will just, when they come in front, as I'm meeting them for the first time, and I see them, Baba, no story, no child, no story. Okay, now let's meet. Now let's meet. Let's sit. And then I can see some thoughts coming in the mind of familiarity and their past story and their past behavior and their nature. All good or bad doesn't matter, just all there. And I see that as detached observer with Baba. So it's like I'm seeing that. Baba and I are seeing that. Is that the film? Yes, that's the 84-part film playing right now.
Which is of ourself.
Yeah, it's like images that the mind is carrying about their parts.
Right, but that's our nature, right?
It's not my nature.
No,
my
it's
mind
like
game.
our mind game. Our mind game.
Yeah, it's my mind game.
It's our mind game.
Yeah. So from my nature of silence, I see that. And from silence, it feels very distant. So then they will feel that you are here, but you are not here. Right? They will feel that. So really, otherwise, when you meet, what are you meeting with what embodiment? Have you become the embodiment of Rajo Pradhan or Tamo Pradhan Sanskara? You, the soul, you, the silent being, has become embodiment of that Sanskara and then coming into action?
The soul sees sometimes. Soul doesn't have anything to say to other soul, right? And the part, whatever mind wants to talk, it's not even real. So there is nothing to even talk about most of the time, right? Soul sees only when there is a something which needs to come in action and need, um, others part to involve. Only then is time, to talk. Otherwise, most of the time, soul literally don't feel the need of talking, right? It knows, right? Knows the part also and knows the soul. And but they are identified their mind with their mind, and when I am with Baba, most of the time I don't have anything to say.
I'll share a simple thing. Maybe that will make sense. Yeah.
Okay.
So today it's been raining, right? Since last 7 days, it's been raining here, right? And we had to go for groceries, right? With the part playing the role of a daughter. So we were going, and it's like you're getting wet when you're getting off the car and then walking to the market, right? And internally, I, the soul, am loving this experience of getting wet also. Yeah. I, the soul, am just loving it. It's an experience. I, the soul, am having this experience on the world stage. I'm the invisible actor having this experience. And we come back to the car and I want to express it. So I'm sharing that joy with that soul. What an experience to be able to, kind of getting wet in the rain and making a dash for the car also. It's an experience I, the soul, am having. Then we came to the garage to park the car and take the groceries out. Right? Now there is no rain here. And I, the soul, felt like even sharing this. Let's see. Now there is no rain. There's no rush to get to the, what do you call? It's not like we making a dash for the car. We're just going to, this is also another experience. What a beautiful experience. Life is just so beautiful as an actor.
This one doesn't talk to anybody much or don't even kabhi aa bhi nahi raha hai abhi. These days this thing happening, right? Not intentionally doing it. Sometimes something comes in words, but most of the time it doesn't come in words. Doesn't when talking to Baba, then automatically everything slows down. But when जो माइंड में होता है तो वो बहुत ज्यादा कुछ होता है बोलने को, राइट? तब तो कुछ भी बोला जाता है साधारणता में भी. बट व्हेन दिस मतलब इसको नहीं हो रहा है कुछ भी ऐसा कि किसी से शेयर भी करना ही क्या है.
That is fine. All we are saying is that it's not about just becoming silent like a sannyasi. That's not what life is. Yeah? It is, you are interacting, but you're really enjoying living life with your brothers. You're having a living experience of the drama. We're not cut off from the world.
No, Didi,
even
but
the language and the words were based on the truth. So that is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. But genuinely आता ही नहीं कई बार, समझ ही नहीं आता.
That is fine. We nahi aa raha hai, that's fine. But just understand it, that is not what it is. Yeah? Nahi aa raha, that is okay. Kabhi kabhi silence hi hoga, kuch bolne ki ichha nahi hogi, that is also fine. But that is not what soul means. That is not what Baba is saying being conscious as a soul means. Right?
No. Totally understand. Yeah. But I'm just sharing this that most of the time doesn't have anything in the वो कोई माइंड से आइडेंटिफाइड नहीं है सोल, तो वो ऐसा लगता ही नहीं कि कुछ नीड है. लगता है कि बस जो हो जाना है वो तो हो ही जाना है, अब इसमें बोलना क्या है.
No, but that's what we are saying, that it is not like that, that this is consciousness as a soul. Then somewhere that may be in an experience of silence, which is okay. As an experience of silence, it's absolutely fine. But that is not what it means if I'm a soul, I don't speak.
No, ऐसा नहीं है. वही बहुत कम होता है ना जो वर्क रिलेटेड कुछ है. When this one needs someone's help, then only ask. Otherwise कुछ ऐसा नहीं.
Even that, in that help and needing, asking again, what is the awareness of who I am? So this is where the checking is. It's like you're really living a living drama. You, the soul, is using the body. You, the soul, is using the mind. You, the soul, is using the sanskars. You, the soul, is using everything and loving the life that you're living, whatever it may be.
Because दीदी sometimes contentment is there and सच में कुछ नहीं होता है. कई बार इतना ज्यादा आप हो ही contented, वो वाला feeling में भी कुछ है ना.
Understood. That is also just another experience. Yeah. But that is not like, okay, now I'm like, that's all we are saying. It's not necessarily being conscious as a soul doesn't mean I don't speak. Being conscious as a soul means you're aware of self as separate from the experience. That is all it is. Yeah? There's self and then there's experience. There's no me-ness and I-ness in it. That is all it is. Yeah? And then you are living with everybody. You're really playing your part. You're not, otherwise it's a very dry life with everyone.
Doing everything, I don't know, whatever needs to be done, but इसको अंदर से अभी कुछ ऐसा होने लगा कि मतलब इतना नहीं जा नहीं रहा माइंड की तरफ.
Fine, as an experience, it's Yeah, but remember, this is also temporary.
Yeah, this is for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is also
Thank
temporary. That is all.
So like here in the work scenario, there's a large scale project happening in which the part like the team which is there, the things have been put in place for years, 20 years, 25 plus years, and now it's a big system change happening. And Niru has done a part of knowing whatever she knows and the people in the team knows, done everything. But if the others part is people belonging of other groups do not be part of it or pitch in and share the details of the past history and stuff like that, because and don't see their part is not to cooperate or not to involve, and the boss himself doesn't know his part is also not to know any of those things. So do see that feeling the wave of the pressure and responsibility. And because in everywhere it's only Niru, 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 Niru written, responsible for all those things, because boss part is to just transfer it to me. And here saying, okay, even if I don't know anything, just Niru crushing ego, don't know, can't do anything more than that. And kind of thinking, why is that situation coming? What is the drama trying to teach me? And seeing that, because at time I do experience and the pressure, the responsibility, and then I try to do get carried away there are times, and then again I step back, taking a break, and again getting myself aligned. So still not able to get if something within me that needs to be changed, or what is it really showing me? Because people of other teams, because it's not their project, it's our 3-year long implementation. There's nobody taking ownership or responsibility or accountability. No one. So, not sure. Maybe I can talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We can. Somebody has written, past no longer becomes the reference point. I just saw the chat. And Om Shanti, after coming to Gyan, souls around think we leave everything, big things for them like partying, etc. Point to BK. Yeah, that is okay. But more important is how you're living with them as you're living with them. You're not living as some dry person, some separate from them, and it's like, okay, I just don't want to interact with them. What if I make a mistake? You're not living with that fear. You're not living with that fear. What if I make a mistake? I don't want to, I just want to stay alone and separate and aloof and not want to interact with them. I'm with Baba, so I don't want to interact with them. That is not what Baba is teaching at all. Okay, these choices we make that we don't feel like going to those things, but if you're really living as a soul, you're living your part, playing a part, you're an actor, you're the incorporeal actor. The incorporeal actor is embodying a certain good quality of automatically it's embodying a satopradhan sanskara and coming into action with that sanskara, coming into action with that words, coming into action with those thoughts as me, right? I know that those thoughts are not me, but I'm embodying that naturally, that quality of love and peace. But knowing I am silence first, then I embody these qualities in a natural way and come into action, right? Then there is not that dryness in your relationships. Friction होता है जहाँ dryness होती है. Yeah? Ah, that's okay. But happy and content, am I really at the level of the being that I am? Then what they say doesn't mean much, right? Because you're seeing their perfect self also. You're seeing their loving presence also as they are. Yeah? And you will find that if you're really awakened to that extent of what Baba is saying in the Murli, then you will find they become very receptive. Like I will just give a small example. I said to Soul Behind brother that I have to go pick up, because he had a meeting, he could not pick up the Soul Behind daughter. And he said that, don't miss your class. Ask her to take Uber. You should never miss your class. And it just so happened that the flight got delayed, and it was just after the class I could leave and pick her up. But the thing is that there will be a lot of cooperation from them. They will see that there is that sense of pure love that they are experiencing from you. Yeah. Sense of pure love. Yeah, one here has seen that cooperation also. Yeah. So if you're really experiencing the truth of who you are and truly experiencing love for those beings also as they are, truly, it's not possible that there will be dryness and friction relationships for too long. Even if start with, it's there, but it won't last very long. Yeah. So you are actors, you are playing a part, you are not living in a jungle. So I, the being, the silent one, I just know me, that is silent presence, then I come. I embody Baba's sanskars and I come into action. And at times, I may embody a tamopradhan sanskar and come into action, and that's okay. Maybe that was supposed to happen after paying all that attention, it happens. Step out as though this past doesn't exist for you. That last second of the past is not your reference point for who you are. Yeah? And that's what Baba has given this message in this Murli. And that becomes a discipline. It's not discipline of stool, gross disciplines. It is the discipline of your awareness that is seen by others. Means felt. Just incognito feeling is there in them. Yeah? So you, the soul, knowing your Om, knowing you, the Om, you, the light, the absolute knowing, the unbiased knowing. From there, you are in your Brahmin sanskaras. And then once you know your Brahmin sanskaras, automatically Sattva-pradhan sanskars will feel like your property. Yeah? Is this clear today? I wanted to make sure this is it's not just I'm Om and there's nothing else after me. That's true. But that is just for the part that I play. Everything is for that after that. But I do play the part. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you.
Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Baba.